Hey guys, Rook here, and I'm making this video as a follow-up slash response to the current videos out there by both Tweak and Pestily. Mainly because, first of all, Tweak has asked for additional content creators to speak up and add their voice to the information being put out there. And secondly, I agree that more light needs to be shed on this because it's definitely reached a point where the devs need to hear the truth. We're not attacking the devs. We're not mad. We're frustrated. We love this game. Tarkov is hands down one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my close to 40 years of gaming experience. And it's very frustrating to see the state of things. It's very frustrating to see the potential that's there that's just not being hit. And so first and foremost, before I go any further, I want to say thank you to the devs for creating a game that has brought so many amazing people together. The Tarkov community in general on Twitch and just across the entire world is by far one of the most generous communities that I've ever seen in the online world. People genuinely care not only about the game but about the people playing it and the people they come across. And the devs should be happy and proud for that. The next thing I want to say is if you haven't seen Tweak's video, if you haven't seen Pestily's video, stop right now and click on the links to their videos. I'm going to provide it underneath this video. Go watch theirs first and then come back and finish watching this one. They both provide a really good, strong summary of what's going on, and they probably are going to say it better than I will. I'm going to try to follow along with what Tweak's list was and kind of maybe break some of it down a little bit further. So definitely, please, if you haven't seen their videos, go check theirs out. Again, the links will be below. I'm breaking this down into three categories. The first category being that of public relations and management. The second category is going to be the current state of the game. And then the third category will be the future state of the game. PR and management, again, just a brief history about my background so that you know kind of where I'm coming from. And this isn't to pat myself on the back or make myself look good. I just want people to know that I have some experience, I have some knowledge in this. And so I'm speaking from a level of actual having been there, having done that. I have my master's degree in business project management. I have over 20 years in the tech industry doing contract negotiations, actual hardware, software testing. I have been a beta tester for actual corporate software development and programs. I've ran companies, I've built companies, I've sold companies. If it's been possible to do in business, I've probably done it. So I don't know everything, but I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Again, that's not to, pat me on the back, look at how great I am. It's just saying I do have some experience, and this is coming, again, not out of anger towards the devs. It is just, it's very frustrating, and some of this needs to be addressed. Twitter. Whoever's running it, whatever's being done over there, stop begging people to play your game. Trust that you've built a good game and that you don't have to go farming through Twitter to find other streamers or other communities to pull into your game. If you guys make the game right, the game will sell itself. It doesn't need that additional begging on the forums or on Twitter to have additional people show up. Focus on the core of the game, focus on the mechanics of the game, build on the foundation that you've already got, and it's like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. I promise. Transparency for testing. It keeps being said over and over, this is a beta. It's argued whether or not it's still an alpha. It doesn't matter. If you want us to test, if you want us to give you proper feedback, we need information. What this means is we need raw data. What is expected of X gun or Y armor or, you know, this type of ammo? What is the expectancy? You can't give someone something and then ask them what their opinion of it is if they don't know what the expected outcome is while they're using it. This is just redundancy here. You know, you put in a new gun and we run around and go, oh, this gun's OP, you know, or this gun's underpowered. Well, if we don't know what the expected outcome of that gun is, how are we to know to provide proper feedback to you guys as the developers? The biggest thing in this game where we need to have more transparency is the state of the ammo and the state of the armor. Ford armor. How many rounds of BP should it take for BP rounds to get through Ford? Let's start there. What is the expected outcome of Ford? Do you guys want it to be 5 rounds of BP, 10 rounds of BP, 2 rounds of BP? We don't know. We can tell you how many it does take, but we don't know if that's what's expected. So information like that provided to us will allow us to be able to provide you guys quicker and more useful data back. So transparency is needed there. No more of this like some stuff is released, some stuff is hidden. If it's a mystery, then you're always going to get like incorrect data because you're going to have one person say one thing and one person say another. And if you guys want good, clean data back, we need that information. Last part of this first category, community. Again, I think it was kind of touched on, but pay attention to the people that love this game and not the ones that are just out there like trying to pad their numbers on a forum or you know, get the upvotes. Pay attention to the people that are truly passionate. And those are the ones who are going to tell you the hard truth. The people that play this game 40, 50, 60 hours a week, even when it's unplayable at times, even when we're dealing with crashes in the middle of our play session. Whatever it is, there is a core group of people who play this game daily, who love this game, who want to see it succeed to the point that we're willing to tell you the hard truths to your face. You need to plug into those communities. You need to really dig into those communities because it's not just such and such streamer. It's that streamer's entire community has flocked to that streamer for a specific reason. And it's because for the most part, they're like-minded. That's a good group to pull from. You have plenty of them to choose from. They're not hard to find, but stop catering to the people who just agree with what you want, what you say, or what you want to hear. You need to have diversity from people who actually care about this game and want to see it succeed. Next category, current state of the game. I'm just going to try to briefly touch on this. Again, I don't want this video to be super long, but because I am passionate about this game, because I do want to see this game succeed, I may carry on a little bit. So I apologize. I will try to be concise. Late spawns, number one biggest issue right now, has been since I've started playing a year ago. Late spawns. It's not funny anymore. When you load in late, you're instinctively at a disadvantage. This game is a tactical game, and with tactics comes timing. And every map has a particular timing. Every map has a particular flow. When you load into a game, if you've played this game enough, you know, hey, 3 minutes into Shoreline, somebody's already breaching into either West Wing or East Wing. Guaranteed. It doesn't take that long. 2 to 3 minutes, somebody's already entering one of the wings. You spawn in 2 to 3 minutes late and you're all the way out on the edge. You know that by the time you get to resort, pretty much one wing's going to be cleared out. That is a huge disadvantage for both people. It's a disadvantage for the person coming in late because they don't get a chance to actually get any loot. They don't get a chance to get the experience from opening doors, unlocking doors. They don't get a chance to use their soft skills to unlock and get the benefit of using their soft skills to find the loot. The person who has looted now has to worry about somebody who has heard them running around and is sitting just expectantly camping a corner somewhere because that's all they've got left to do since they spawned in late. If everybody starts at the same time or around the same time, obviously certain machines, 10, 15 seconds, I don't think anybody's complaining about that. Even maybe up to 30 seconds isn't that big of a deal, but we're talking about 60, 90, 120 seconds, multiple minutes. I've seen as much for myself, 5.5 minutes late. It's ridiculous. It needs to stop. Whatever you guys got to do to fix it, it needs to stop. It's out of control. Secondly, the next biggest issue, sounds. This game, when playing it tactically, what you hear, the information you hear, is almost more important than what you see. And if you can't hear things properly, you can't respond, you can't react properly. The biggest things are just bugs from across the map. When you're passing through the middle of interchange in the middle of the mall and you hear somebody reload right behind you and you freak out and you check every corner around you for the next 5 minutes and there's literally nobody even anywhere near you because you heard somebody reload on the other side of the map. Vertical sounds. You guys had vertical sounds implemented. I want to say it was back in 0.7. It may have not been until 0.8. And for like 2 or 3 weeks, they worked great. I could be in Shoreline. I could be on the second floor of Resort. I could tell you exactly if somebody was on third floor, on the roof, in the basement. It worked great. Loved it. And then you broke it. And it hasn't been right since. It's been at least 6 months, roughly, since it worked. It's horrible. You spend half a match chasing down ghosts because you heard something. Or you're just like sitting and waiting because you heard somebody load a gun or change a mag. And it's I don't want to say it's game breaking, but it's definitely not helping. You guys need to figure this out. Scavs. They do need to be tough. I understand that. They shouldn't be walked on. They shouldn't be something just kind of like brushed aside. I understand the need for scavs to be difficult. But within the first 3 days of this new patch, I died more to scavs than I think I did all of the last patch cycle from 0.9 to 0.10, 10.5. The joke is over, whether it's 1 taps, 2 taps, instantly killing your legs, 200-meter shotgun shots, blocking out limbs, 30 rounds into a scav to kill them before they fall over. Like, what's going on with them? What's the expected outcome with scavs? Where are we with scavs on this? Because something's not right. It's definitely not like, oh, scavs are just supposed to be feared. No, scavs should be difficult. You should have to respect the fact that there are scavs maybe at the extract or guarding high loot areas. I agree. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're more concerned about a group of scavs than you are like a 4-man squad, something's got to change. Timers for traders and items. It's been covered. Fix it. Put it back. It's not working. You got people that are literally macroing your game right now who are dominating your economy. If you want a true player-driven economy, you got to have things in place that prevent that. I believe EVE Online has set the bar and the precedent for what a player-run economy needs to look like and feel like. If you haven't seen their economy, please check it out. It's probably the best player-driven economy example you're going to get. And this like arbitrary blocking in 3-hour periods. On the one hand, you say you want the game to be hard. You don't want people to have tons and tons and tons of money. And then you turn around and you do this. And in a way, you basically hand it to people that aren't even playing your game. Like, they just have their game open and they've got scripts written. And buy everything out. And we're not just talking about ammo. There's trades. You can't get a toolbar. The key bar, you can't get docs cases anymore because they're instantly being snagged by macros the moment the traders refresh. It's ridiculous. You know, I had close to like 50 blue tape for the longest time because I couldn't get the trade. I'd be sitting there for the 5 minutes before it refreshed, watching, hitting the refresh every time that refresh cycle button would come up. I would refresh. Fix it. Put it back and change it later when the supporting elements are implemented, whenever that is. Lockups due to proximity. The stutter, micro stutters, the complete lockups when either a group of scavs spawns in on the map or another player gets close to you. Not only is this like beyond broken, it's gotten worse. It used to be, last patch it was like a minor lockup. This patch it's, you know, it's like multiple seconds of like just frozen on screen because somebody else gets near you or a bunch of scavs spawn in. It needs to be adjusted. It needs to be fixed. Whatever's causing the problem. Move errors in inventory. I can't remember the last time I've been able to effectively actually use the modification screen on a gun because doing so automatically results in a move error. You can't move a bunch of stuff and then repair your armor because you get a move error. You spend 10 minutes moving things around, then try to go over to your traders to sell something. Nope, move error, start all over again. I shouldn't have to move one item, back out, come back in, move an item. This needs to be fixed. The more time a person spends in their inventory and their asset screen, the less time they're playing the game, which means fewer people in your servers, which means server population feels dead. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Items falling through the floor or just flat out disappearing when you drop them. You say that you want your game to be squad based and to be team based, and yet you're, even as someone who plays primarily solo, there are times where I have to move items around, toss backpacks, and, you know, it's great when you are on third floor resort and you toss a backpack and you got to run all the way down to the basement to find it if you're lucky. I don't even think it's a collision issue. I don't know what the deal is with it, but It needs to be fixed. It's been broken for a long time. All right. I'll move on to the third category. I already feel like I've gone on longer than I intended for this. Future state of the game. Maps and content. I feel like we've been promised more maps this year. Essentially, we're middle of November. We've had one map the whole year. I honestly don't believe you're going to have labs out before the holidays. You may surprise me, but I really feel like we're probably not going to see point 11 until after the new year. I'm pretty sure at some point, like, somebody can obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure at one point this year we were promised 2 more maps this year after interchange before the end of the year. What happened? You know, where's the production here? You've got people that have been playing this game for multiple years now, and the amount of time that they've had to spend on factory and customs and woods, it's time for some change. There needs to be more maps. There needs to be more variety. And leading from that into the next point, it's time for a change up in the task. First of all, you need to have more of them, which that's an obvious thing. We know we're getting more. The current state of the task. I understand why it is the way it is now, because when the tasks that are there were implemented, you only had a handful of maps anyway. So it made sense to do it the way you guys did it. You know, lead into customs, move to woods, come over to shoreline. You have 5 maps now. You should be hopefully pushing 6, 7, or 8 within the next quarter, 6 months. That may be ambitious of me asking for that, but you've got enough maps now that there's no reason why you guys can't change up the spread of the early task. And what I mean by that is, instead of sending absolutely everybody to customs for their first 30 to 50 raids, do one of 2 things. And I could see it being done successfully either way. Either A, just rearrange where the task sends you. So let everybody have the same task, but instead of the first 30 raids going to custom, maybe it's like 5 go to customs, then maybe your next few sends you to interchange, and then a couple more sends you over to woods. Then you go to shoreline for a couple, then maybe come back to customs. Or another direction you guys could go, and this, I think this would be a little bit harder to do, but I think this would really separate you guys from a lot of other people. Let task be completely random. It'd still be the same list of tasks, but maybe I get task A, B, and C, and the guy next to me gets task, you know, H, I, J, and then, you know, then when I finish A, B, C, then suddenly I get L, M, N, you know. But if it was random like that, if not everybody's first 10 tasks were the exact same, then not necessarily everybody is rushing the same maps. The way it is now, everybody knows they're going to spend their first 5 to 10 hours in the game sitting on customs. Everybody hates it, but everybody just sucks it up and does it. So some people get done with their task because either they're grouped and they knocked it out, or they just got lucky with RNG, made it through unnoticed. But then a lot of people just get stuck because, you know, the way it is, you've got thousands of people all flocking to one server. Everybody's on customs for the first day, 2 days, week, depending on how often they play. Meanwhile, the lucky few who make it through, they move on to Shoreline and Woods, and they're by themselves because nobody else has made it there. So there needs to be some variety there. There needs to be some change up. I think there's a couple of different good options you guys could choose from that would expand the game. And I think it needs to happen soon. Whichever way you guys feel like you want to do. One obviously seems easier to fix. In game is the kind of the last thing I'm going to really touch on. And at one point in time, I believe it was the very first Talking Tarkov podcast you guys did, where it was discussed about having dynamic task. And this kind of ties into the daily, weekly, monthly style of task. But you guys had talked about a dynamic task system where, like, while you're on the map or in a raid, you get a message from one of the traders or whoever, you know, hey, such and such event is taking place where you're at. You need to go do this. Things like that would help extend the game. And I would actually counter one of the points that Tweak said. I 100% back pretty much everything Tweak said in his video. I don't necessarily think you guys need to slow the game down. I just think there needs to be more of a reason to stick around past level 40. The biggest problem you guys have right now for endgame, since you have none, the majority of your player base plays 1 to 40 and then disappears for 3 months waiting for the next wipe. That's no good for anybody. It's no good for the game. It's no good for the people that are sticking around trying to play your game, and it's no good for you guys. Something that I would counter is leave the progression the way it is now. So the current task gets you roughly 1 to 40, 1 to 45, depending on how you run them. Maybe you have to get to level 40 before your daily, weekly, monthly dynamic tasks become available. And these would maybe come from a completely new trader. Somebody else who, you know, for lore purposes, hey, they've noticed the work you've been doing in the area. Now they approach you with this different style of task. And then these daily, weekly, monthly dynamic tasks would maybe these take you 40 to 80. And you have to accrue a certain point value system through running these daily, weekly, monthly dynamic tasks. And once you've accrued a certain number of points, whatever that point system is decided would be, then eventually you unlock a whole new tier of traders. And these guys would be like your elite / prestige traders. Maybe they have access to different stuff, but they would be the ones that would essentially level you from 80 to 100 and beyond. Something like that, it provides not only reason to stay in the game, it provides motivation, it provides extended play, it provides replay ability to your game. And it definitely is something that's going to help your server population. And I hate to say this, but even though it's only been about 10 days since the patch dropped, roughly, you know, we're sitting at about 2 weeks. Server population already feels right now like it did around the 4-month mark before you guys like dropped the 10.5 patch. Typically, and I've said this in the past to my community, I almost feel like you guys need kind of like a running 90 to 100 day time frame where you guys wipe every 90 to 100 days. Just because of the way the current state of the game. After 90 days, the majority of people who do play your game actively have already hit 40 and beyond. Some of us multiple times in that 90-day period have hit 1 to 40 over and over. You have a large part of your population has hit 1 to 40 and is done. They've left the game. They're waiting for the next wipe. Now, I know that there is a group of people, and I've fielded this question, and I understand there is a group of people that don't have the time to play the game. And they don't like all the consistent wipes. They don't like constantly having to start over again. To those people, I would say, trust us. Those of us that are trying to help guide the game a little bit. What feels like a setback right now, in the long run, will add more playability, more enjoyment, and a longer play experience for you when the game is finally polished and produced. Right now it may feel very frustrating if, you know, every 3, 4, 5 months the game gets wiped and you got to start over because you never made it to 40. But when the final product comes out and there's no more wipes, and 6 months in, you do finally hit 40, and there's still all these other problems that we're addressing now, you're going to be done with the game. Because there's not going to be any reason for you to stick around. So please understand, like, I hear you, I feel what you're saying, and trust me, I've been there. I've been that person who worked 60 to 70 hours a week and was just exhausted at the end of the day, and sometimes just didn't even have the energy left to want to sit down and play a video game, especially one as hard and frustrating as Tarkov can be. Trust me when I say we're not trying to take away your fun now. We're trying to help extend the life of this game. Now, there's a whole lot else I could get into. I won't for brevity's sake. I do want to finish on a positive note. I want to once again thank the BSG devs for creating Tarkov. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This game has reignited my love for PvP. It has reignited my passion for first-person shooters. I believe you guys have a diamond in the rough on your hands if you guys can just fix some things that need to be fixed. I feel like you guys have built an amazing foundation with a great frame. But you've kind of stopped and just stood around and said, look at the great foundation and frame we've built. Don't we have a nice house? And it's like, no, you don't have a nice house. You have a great foundation and a good frame. Now let's build this house. Let's put the final pieces together. Let's finish this amazing project and product that you guys potentially have. I talk about it a lot with my community in the fact of when I think about the potential that Tarkov has for the future, what you guys can potentially do with this game, it's mind-blowing to think about all the fun and exciting and crazy moments that have yet to happen that can happen if things are built right. So again, thank you for what you guys have done, but please, please try to take some of what's being said from people like Pestily and Tweak. And if anything I have said has resonated with you, please hear our hearts. Please hear the passion that we have alongside you guys. I know, Nikita, this is like your passion project. I understand what it's like to have people pick at something that you are so intimately entwined with. It's tough, but please understand that we want to see your passion project succeed just as much as you guys do. We want this game to be the game that we play for the next 5 to 10 years. We want 20 years from now to be able to say, man, remember Tarkov, remember how great it was. This game needs to be, you know, like way down the road. We want to be able to point back to this game as being the game that changed the future of first-person shooter, survival, military sim style of games. You guys have a great foundation, a great frame, but it's kind of stopped there, and it needs to continue. It needs to be built. The house needs to be finished. So again, I'm sorry if this has gone longer than what I wanted it to, and I'm sure I didn't even cover everything that I had intended to. Again, please go check out Tweak's video. Please go check out Pestily's video. They're probably way more concise than I've been, but I did want to cover some of this stuff, and the fact that, like Tweak said at the start of his video, he hopes more content creators will lend their voice to this movement, because we need to see some change, and not 3 months from now, not 6 months from now, but like days and weeks. You know, in the coming days and weeks, there needs to be some immediate changes. And please, Nikita, BSG, understand, a response needs to be had. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily step out immediately and say something, but within the next couple weeks, try to respond, either with actual patches that fix some of the stuff, or at least addressing some of the things that Tweak and Pestily have brought to your attention. If you guys completely ignore me, ignore my video, that's fine. I'm not here to try to boost my numbers. I'm not here to try to piggyback off of anybody. I'm merely trying to lend my voice to two pillars of your guys' community, two giants that have helped establish this amazing project that you guys have built. I don't want them to stand alone on this. I want to be a part of this game for a long time coming, and so please hear our hearts, hear the fact that we're not attacking you, BSG and Nikita. We're not coming after you guys. This isn't a witch hunt. This is a core group of players who have been a part of your community for a while, who care about this project just as much as you guys do. And we're just trying to help act like bumpers on a bowling alley to keep you guys on track. We don't want to see this game fall into the gutter, because it would be a real shame if this game went the way of DayZ, like Tweak talked about. It would be a major missed opportunity for you guys, and it would be a severe loss to the entire gaming community for this game not to be what it could be. So I've said my little bit, probably a little longer than I should have, and I apologize for that. But definitely go check out Tweak's video, go check out Pestily's video, and if you guys want to say anything positive or negative, I don't care at this point. Say what you want to say, and but please try to understand the real message here in these videos. And you know, thank you for your guys' time, and we'll catch you guys in game. Bye bye.